Mike, are we all set up on YouTube?
Yeah, I just started the stream on YouTube, so should be working now.
Great. Well, thanks again, everyone, for joining. I hope that we can have a really fruitful discussion during this session. I think there's quite a bit for us to discuss. So I will propose that we have just an open mic session and discuss everything that we have, on our minds to discuss and share, and of course, respond to any questions and concerns or comments. So I think that pretty much would be what I'll be suggesting today. I am actually away on holiday, and so I will be suggesting, yes, I think we'll sort of keep this definitely reasonably lengthy, sort of the usual. Let's target for say 2 hours to get our discussions covered. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this session. In our usual way, I'd like to go through the TitanX stats. So distribution currently looks liquid is 30.98%. State is 21.87%. And buy and burn is 31.53%. Your build on TitanX protocols is about 15.29%. For those who are probably new, just to let you know what I'm doing, we're going through the stats page of TitanX, and you can find that you can find it by clicking on the website, going to tools. Going to more. There's a tab called more, and you would find you will find a drop-down menu that will lead you to the stats. Now, this gives us a good view as to where we are with TitanX. It gives us a snapshot as to the current view. If you wanted to take a view as to what the future looks like, or the future state, then of course the Mike Dean Dunes analytics will provide that solution. So in terms of a snapshot as to where we are, as mentioned, liquid is 30.98%, state is 21.87%, buy and burn is 21.53%, and build on TitanX protocols is 15.29%. What this really means when you look at the buy and burn, it means that 31% of TitanX tokens, as it stands today, 31% will never be coming back onto the market. We've got liquid, and this amount has gone up steadily over the last few weeks. And of course, if you look at the Mike Dean's Dunes analytics, it will tell you the story. In effect, we're still in the hyperinflationary phase, and therefore this is not a surprise. I think if you look into the future, March and April and onwards, things should start tapering up. We've got a 280-day spike. Again, no surprise there. And with all the build on TitanX protocols that should hit the market in the not too distant future, I think that inflationary pressure that we're expecting on day 280 should really be absorbed significantly. But in any case, the long and short of it, if you're new, the stats are available for anyone who's interested in taking a look at this. The snapshot, as I'm going, that we've just been through, can give you a story as to where we are now. And I would have to continue telling well, the story as to where we are. Now, let me just talk in terms of hard figures. So moving on from the percentages, just talking about hard figures now. Liquid is about 18.6 trillion TitanX tokens that's on the market. In terms of USD, it's 17.4 million USD. Staked, it's 13 trillion TitanX tokens. And in terms of USD terms, that's just about, 12 just rounding it up, 12.3 million USD. The little skip penalty is not significant. Build on TitanX protocols. We know that we've got 2 projects that have launched. And so we're talking about DragonX and Titan Legends. And between them, we've got over, rounding it up, 9.2 trillion TitanX tokens. It must be said, I have to add that the bulk of that really sits with DragonX. Buy and burn, in terms of hard numbers, we're talking about 18.9 trillion tokens have been bought and burned. And in terms of USD terms, that's 17.7 million USD worth of TitanX has been bought and burned. And in effect, what this relates to is the buy and burn pools. So you're looking at the V1 and V2 pools. Between them, currently, we have, just looking at it, we have over 27 million USD worth of ETH sitting in these 2 pools. I think we are all aware that we've had some really good positive price action with respect to ETH. TitanX is a leverage play on ETH. So when ETH performs, the protocol, it's good news for the protocol overall. And so we've got a healthy amount sitting in the buy and burn pool. We all are aware that the ETH funds here are being efficiently used. And so we still have 1 ETH, just bear with me. Yeah, that is the slow release. I'm actually looking at the slow release, but the V2 is the fast release and really the one that we could focus on. But it says current cap. So the cap of the buy and burn V2 is 3.33 ETH and it's callable every 60 minutes. So every 60 minutes, the system releases 3.3 ETH for the buy and burn. And I think in hard USD terms, that is well over 10,000 USD. In any event, long and short of it, I think the protocol is still very healthy. I think the story really, if taken together, we get a good picture of it. And as long as we have a decent buy and burn pool or pools, I honestly do not think that there is much for us to be concerned about here. This is, after all, a very young project. I think today is day 114. And I know for sure that we're going to talk about this today. There have been delays that some of us, as part of the community, have not been happy about. But I will suggest that we could look at a broader picture here. These protocols have to launch with the best interests of the community at the forefront. And all we're looking at here, delays that are very temporary. And in my view, and I speak for myself, I really don't think these delays are any reasons for us to really feel, negative at all about this, about TitanX or any of any of the other projects. As an ecosystem, we're doing well. In 114 days, less than 4 months, we have a protocol that has behaved spectacularly well. We have protocols that are being built. If you look at my Dean's TitanX hub, we've got about 17 projects. And of course, excluding TitanX itself, about 16 projects that are in the pipe. Well, 2 of which have launched, but the rest in the pipeline, and 2 of which are quite close to launching. So I would say a bit of patience on our side would really do us quite well. But anyway, I think that is pretty much the story, really, the narrative that we have with where we are with TitanX. If we take a look at the rolling payouts, I think Friday was a double payout. But just looking into the future, we have the 369-day payout cycle that is almost $7 million USD. The 888-day payout cycle is over $3 million, just at today's ETH price. And the 369-day payout cycle really translates into, which will be the first year anniversary of TitanX. It's going to be, I think, around 29th October or thereabout. So long and short of it, it's about 8 months away. Yeah, just almost 8 months away. That's not far off. There's a lot to look forward to in this ecosystem. So good. Let me just move on to TitanX Watch, and then I will hand over to Mike for some comments, and then I think again we'll just have an open mic. I'd like to call up Elias, dude. We have a few words with us, and let us have a conversation here. So, just taking a look at TitanX Watch, there's a lot of overlap, of course, when you look at TitanX Watch and you look at the stats on the TitanX website. There's some overlap, but there is some additional functions or information that's quite useful for us to look at here. So if we were to look at the daily inflation, looking at TitanX Watch, and again, I'm going to give a shout out to the creator of this website, and it's Shiman Amen is his name. But anyway, long and short of it, good work, and we'll continue to benefit from the information that he's curated here. But in terms of daily inflation, it's 636,000 USD worth of TitanX, and that translates in TitanX 674.1 billion TitanX, inflation-wise, in the last 24 hours. Again, still hyperinflationary phase. As we get through this inflationary period, we have new projects built. We should begin to see a deflationary period set in. And of course, that's what we are all looking forward to. Important thing is that just like Bitcoin, the early stages of Bitcoin, you had a lot of inflation to start off with, and then the quantitative tightening kind of set in. Similarly, with TitanX, we could have started off with a good amount of inflation to push the tokens in as many hands as possible, create the network effect, which we've managed to do in the last less than 4 months. And if you want to look at actually how much ETH has gone passed through this platform, this TitanX platform, in less than 4 months, it's been well over 130 million USD worth of, and I'm being conservative when you look at it, but and this is just the amount spent on mining. So, you know, if you then look at the whole protocol as a whole, the amount spent on staking, which is separate from mining, and something that's excess of 150 million in 4 months. So, folks, I think 15 years since Bitcoin, there's been a lot of lessons learned. TitanX has definitely benefited from that. As an ecosystem, it is growing, and the story continues. So that's great. I think it's always important to remind ourselves where we are. We've generated sufficient stats to really start looking back and see what our performance looks like and where we're heading to. And so that is really the story as it is currently. User growth, miner growth, look at user growth, it's still heading in the right direction. So miner growth, yes, there's been a really significant slowdown, but again, that's understandable. And we would be, I would say, you will always have times when it will be, you would have high miner, growth, and then you would have periods where there will be a lull, and then it will pick up again. Like everything else, there would be that cycle. And for us, I think understanding that cycle, the cycle that is specific to TitanX, is something that we're all, learning, because it's pretty much a new platform. So I'd say let's enjoy the ride is what really, let's enjoy the ride. It's bumpy at times, but I think we keep our eyes on the price, so to speak, and keep our eyes open, definitely ask questions. And I think, we're in a good space here, definitely. Well, on that note, let me hand over to Mike. Mike, please. Yeah.
Hey, Blané. Hope you're doing well. Hi, everybody. Hope you guys are also doing well. I'm doing fine. Not too bad, but I actually did a test 2 days ago, something, and I have very low vitamin D. So that's something which I started supplementing today, actually. So hopefully things will be soon back to high numbers, because I used to supplement quite a bit, but I somewhat stopped doing it. Anyhow, that's just a bit of a side note. Today, I wanted to start off with something which I think Jake tweeted out, and that is, he tweeted something of, we're here to raise the bar of the industry and set a new transparent community first standard for DeFi. And for me, that's pretty much translates to fair launch. There's a public founder. There's a published white paper well before the launch. The LP is forever locked. There's public discussion group, preferably on Telegram or somewhere else as well, and audits. At least one audit, preferably 2 or 3. This is exactly how TitanX launched. So I believe this is something we should definitely also be watching and looking. All of these projects which are coming up, they should follow more or less the same path, because in absence of that is basically you have insider information, insider deals, and all those kinds of things which just doesn't seem fair, first of all. And we're already in crypto, it's hard enough already, but like if you complicate stuff with stealth launches or anything else, really, it just makes it way more complicated. And it just creates a lot of headache for everybody. And that's not something we need, definitely. And so just with that in mind, we can't just let people come in the community, do a cash grab and then fuck off, right? I mean, this is just pretty much unacceptable in some ways. Even with the above information which I just told you regarding fair launch, public founder, and everything, sure, something can still happen, something like a rug or anything, but at least you know for sure that person cannot do it again. But with anything else, it's like if you're not known in the community and they've never heard from you anything, and then you come in and you do a cash grab, and apparently that particular project, whatever, they got 10 or 12K or something, which is like, well, for some people that's quite a big quite change, good money, right? And now they fuck off, right? And since you don't know them and you never heard of them, what would stop them creating a new project and do the same thing? You see, that's the problem of these things, right? I mean, with a fair launch and public founder, at least you know that fucker cannot do it again, because we know how he looks like, and we know how he sounds like. I mean, obviously with AI and stuff like that, there's definitely voice changing capabilities and with voice as well. But I mean, nevertheless, I think people who are out there to do a cash grab, they don't stick around for long, right? They want to come in, do a cash grab, and fuck off, right? So it's a hard problem. I mean, that's how things are. I mean, if we are all in a small village, we know for sure it's like, hey, so and so live at that place, and when he does something stupid, we just gonna go and beat the shit out of him, right? But it's all digital now here, so we can't do that. So we have to somewhat, yeah, have something else basically to look forward to. Anyway, like, I mean, some of my framework is basically, it's just like, okay, are you doxed? Are you known in the community? Do you have audits? Is there a white paper? Have you been interviewed with few YouTubers already? I mean, those are kind of like the screening in some ways, right? And if somebody just comes in today and says like, I'm launching in 2 days, why do you want to launch so fast? Actually, I mean, I mean, people who want to do anything like cash grab or anything, like they're very quick to convince you that this is important. You have to do it now, now, now. So I mean, those are like some already red flags. With that particular project, which I will not name whatsoever. But anyhow, I don't want to hop on that too much. One thing for sure I can say is like, I'm actually glad this happened this early and not much later on. So at least maybe some people have learned their lesson in some ways, right? And I was pretty annoyed actually, because these projects were arguing me in the DMs and they wanted to be listed on TitanX. And I was just like, hey man, I don't have a framework for you. Like, you are, the way you launch and everything is so away from TitanX itself. I just cannot list you. I don't have a framework for that. It's like, I'm sorry. And they were arguing me back and forth and whatever. But well, it is what it is. I mean, we've seen what has happened. And obviously, I cannot hold people's hands, right? And my theory in life is just very simple. It's like pain is needed to learn. So telling people what to do and what not to do most of the time just doesn't work. Like, people have to experience pain in some ways to learn. So, well, hopefully the pain has not been too much, but enough for you to learn somewhat. Yeah. So enough of that. One little thing I wanted to say as well is that I did an interview with the Fair Launch Project this week actually, and that was with Steve DeFi from Titan Blaze. I pinned also the tweet which will take you to the interview, and I definitely listen to that. Like, very interesting, I think. So check out Titan Blaze with Steve DeFi. That was definitely very interesting. Have a look at that. Like, yeah, I think that was pretty good. So that was the first section. The second section, I'm gonna be talking regarding some few updates on TitanX and probably also DragonX. So one thing which I can say for sure, we had a double payout. This is the second one after day 56. So on the day 112, we had the 8 and 28 day payout, and the ETH claimed for DragonX, it was 81.29%. I think I tweeted this out as well. So currently, on the 112 day, DragonX had around, I think, 41% of the share of the all shares. So that's that's something interesting for sure as well. And the ETH claimed on that day was 81.29 ETH. And I think that was definitely very interesting. And probably regarding also TitanX, regarding the price, I think right now we are under the 6 zeros again, so 0.609429. And if we look back a little bit, we can see around yesterday at 12:30, the price started going down, basically, right? And I think obviously that's what's most people do understand what happened yesterday is like that was King X when they delayed for the second time. So obviously, I think people were just they lost a bit of face, I guess, and they just dumped the price, which is probably understandable. And then at the same time, DragonX, while I was observing it, because it was quite interesting to see what people are actually doing, and the chart tells you what people are actually doing. So so the first people were selling off the DragonX because, well, they needed the liquid TitanX, and they sold it off. It went even below the 1-to-1 ratio, which was on the first 2 weeks. So definitely very interesting when I saw that. And then as soon as the news came out that there was a delay, it started pumping up again. So so I mean, some few people did sell off TitanX, and some other people just I think a portion of them just went back to DragonX, or probably even more we just went back to DragonX. So now we are above the week 3 ratio, so 0.95, but the actual ratio is on week 5, which is 0.85. So we're definitely a bit away from that on the DragonX side. So that's pretty much the updates regarding DragonX and TitanX. So the double payout was definitely very interesting. And then the last point I want to make is regarding the delayed launches, right? Yes, I know, I understand, it's frustrating. But one thing I want to share is like, you know what is even more frustrating? It's a project which gets launched and then you lose your money due to a hack. That's definitely way more frustrating. But obviously, I understand it's frustrating. All these delays are definitely not, but I do believe that this is all a learning process, and I believe other teams are looking what's happening and they're taking this as a lesson. So I think that's something which definitely other teams were looking into. And probably regarding these whole delays, probably a quick personal story, I tweeted this out as well, is that I used to write software for satellites, right? And especially with satellites, is like, first of all, it's like hardware. So, and then second also is so and then the second thing is also, once it has been launched, there's no way to recall it, right? So I mean, writing software satellites, it's like a lot of testings, audits, and there is, even on the day of the launch of the rocket, basically there is normally like several delays, sometimes days, mostly it's just hours, but even days and whatever, due to all kinds of reasons, right? But I don't want to go into deeper into that. But what I'm trying to say is like, these smart contracts are like very similar in some ways, right? Because first, the stakes are very high in both cases, right? And there's no way to recall them. And well, if something goes wrong, you cannot just go back or something. People just lose their money, right? Right. So this is something like, if you really care about your users, like, although how frustrating it can also be, you you just have to delay things, especially when something is like security, because there's no way to recall it, and people lose their money. And that's, we're in crypto, it's hard already, man. It's like, without even the hack, you're gonna be losing in some projects. So you don't want to lose it because of a hack or something like that. Anyway, that's pretty much all my thoughts I had for today. Maybe I'm gonna have some more thoughts later on, but thank you for that. And Helios, I'll give it to you, my friend.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, my friend.
Awesome. Thanks for having me up, as always. And I feel bad for your vitamin D deficiency. I kind of want to take some blame for that, because Helios did not launch, and the sun is not burning bright yet. But soon. As far as, the delays go, I definitely understand that. I don't know specifically what's happening with TitanX market, but for me, it's, as you said, a fair launch is important. And if there's the smallest issue, then I don't feel like we are ready to launch. And, you know, it really pained me to have to delay. But to me, it's more important that people on day one have a perfect experience. And, you know, last thing we want to happen is somebody, there's a small bug in the website where, you know, you have to refresh the web page to clear it. In that second, it could, you know, you could lose 100 H rank, you know, and that would be a bad experience for somebody. You know, everything still works fine, but it just slowed you down a few seconds. Well, to me, like, that's not acceptable. And since, you know, we felt like everything wasn't perfect, that's kind of where we, you know, regrettably decided to delay. I think a big part of it for me was feeling the FOMO of launching Helios myself. And, you know, as y'all talked about the double payday, you know, I really wanted to be a part of that as a protocol. But in the end, it's just one more double payday of countless double paydays to come in the future. So delaying a week or two is really, you know, not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, especially like with all the stats that Plan A was going over. It's still a very early stage. You know, we're still in that hyperinflationary stage, and we're still having protocols building. Having only 2 launched is like nothing compared to, you know, years down the road. I imagine there's 100+ protocols. So 2 weeks, it sounds like forever. You know, that's how it is in crypto. 2 weeks is forever. But in the long run, it's the right decision. And fair launch is absolutely the priority. And that's also why we've kind of said that, like, when we decide we are ready to launch and when we give a new launch date, it's not going to be the next day. You know, we want to make sure everybody has a week's notice before launch to be prepared for it. So we still want to keep that, even if that delays us, you know, more days. It's fine. So happy to be here. And yeah, I can go over the protocol if anyone's got any additional questions. I know I kind of went through it last week, and I'm sure there's new viewers here. So again, I'm here to answer any questions. And please check out our white paper. Take this delay as an opportunity to go through the white paper and understand what we're here for and how we're going to benefit the TitanX community in the short and long term, and develop your day one strategy. But yeah, thanks again, and I'll be here.
Thanks a lot, Helios. To be honest, the fact that you've come up and engaged the community, that gives, you know, in my view, a massive vote of confidence. It's really a very, you know, huge positive thing. When things are going well, it's very easy for everyone to to sort of handle the situation. I mean, it's always good. It's when things are going well, you know, it's easy for people to kind of engage. But when the true test really is when things don't go as planned, how one handles that. And I think from the get-go, you've handled it very well. And you really set an example as to how you handle matters when they're not going as well as you expect them to go. You got ahead of this from day one, and you explained to the community the delay. In the scheme of things, it's not a big thing. It's not a major thing, to be frank. But of course, communication is important, and you communicated from day one to the entire community. And you know, it's a couple of weeks. Hopefully, in a couple of weeks, it will be we're all looking forward to it. I think on the positive side is that we're all looking forward to the protocol that you're building. But the delay is not the end of the world at all. I think putting the community interest first, security of the protocol first. Again, not to kind of rehash this, but that definitely is very good. And thank you so much. Let me recognize Crypto Kindness, by the way. Yes, I wanted to do that. Thank you. I see you, and I see a lot of our regulars here. So that's great. So yes, Helios. I mean,
Crypto Kindness
that's
should come
about
up.
yes. that's about it, really. I don't see any kind of major issue here. I think TitanX markets did, of course, feel free to come and engage as well. But we are still in this, and we're in this to win, and there's still everything to play for. So that's great. I think on that note, yes, please, anyone who has any comments, again, any concerns, please feel free to come up. It's an open mic session. And so really the floor is yours. If you have any comments, actually even advice, feel free. The floor is yours.
Plan A. Okay, I don't know. I cannot do it on the web application here. Can you invite Crypto Kindness, man? I know he listens sometimes, but he hasn't been in the spaces yet. So I would like to invite him.
Okay, of course. Done. So, Crypto Kindness, you're invited. You're invited to speak. So we've got...
While we're waiting on that, I just wanted to mention that we did get our second audit report back today. And happy to hear that very few issues, all easy fixes. So primarily what we're working on now is just perfecting the front end. And super excited. And here's the man himself.
Great.
What's going on, everybody?
Great. Yes. Any thoughts? Any thoughts? Any ideas or comments? Please feel free.
Specifically to the point of discussion that you guys have been chatting about here with the launches and delays and things of this nature. I'll just share my thoughts, and that's all they are for consideration to other builders. But I would encourage you all builders, I'm saying, to not give expected launch dates. Because when you do so, it sets an expectation. And when expectations are not met, often the market responds negatively. And we've seen that. It was one of the things that I questioned the TitanX market team on when I streamed with them recently. Is I said, it seems like you're in a rush to get this out. And they kept giving dates, and it's going to happen now. And I was like, what's the hurry? If it's 1 week off, make sure you get your audits back. Make sure everything is 100% working before you give a date. And I'm 100% open to hearing, an opposing view on this, but I just feel like you shouldn't give a date until you know for sure that the protocol is ready to go. Like, you could launch it today. You can just click the button and launch it today. Everything has come back. Audits are back. It's running flawlessly on your private test nets. Only at that point should you give a date of launch, so that there are not these events like, because they turn into buy the rumor, sell the news events. People were holding their TitanX expecting a launch, and then when it didn't happen, they're just like, okay, I'll sell off, go do something else. So, I mean, that's my thought on the whole thing. As far as delays, personally, I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. I'm not in a hurry. I like that these builders are being transparent and letting us know there's challenges and issues and things like that. Of course, that says a lot about their credibility. And I'd rather have things be right than right now. I've said that before as well. But working together with the community to just not set an expectation is probably a good idea. So that's my only thought on it. I think it's awesome that all these people are building. I think that it's great that, you know, the Helios team is here and they're talking about their challenges and what they're finding. I think it's really neat to see that the TitanX market team was very transparent in the fact that they weren't going to launch and they've delayed. That says a lot about these teams that are building, that they have credibility and integrity. So in a way, it's kind of been a good thing to show the community what they're made of, which is great. So, I mean, I can find a lot of reasons why these lessons that we've learned have actually been good. And of course, from those lessons, you make changes. So that's all I would really say. You know, thank you, Helios team. Thank you, dude, for being here and talking about it and being forthcoming. I appreciate, again, I don't know if Merrick and his team is here, but I appreciate them being forthcoming. But moving forward, how do we avoid these type of issues? Just wait until you're 100% ready to launch before you give a launch date. Any thoughts on that from anybody else?
Yeah, I can agree with you on that. And that was, you know, like I said, I can admit to feeling the FOMO of launching myself, you know, especially as intending on being a day one miner and all that. I set unrealistic expectations. And now that we have made the official decision to delay, and when we did that, we told our second auditor, hey, we're delaying, there's no rush. And he was happy to take several extra days looking over the code. So it really, in the end, it is better. And you know, I've learned my lesson, and I agree with you with it needs to be 100% ready before setting a date. And that's kind of where we're at. It's like, especially with, you know, I'm saying that we're going to set it out 7 days from that announcement. So that's every day that we don't announce is another day further back. But in the end, we're still super early. So now that I've kind of came to the realization that, you know, FOMO is FOMO and I'm back down to earth, I have no issues with where we're at. And yeah, it's our next announcement will be 100%, and there will not be a delay because it does create, it does invite scammers, and you know we've seen it with TitanX Market, and that's it's in all of crypto, so it's to be expected for them to show up in the TitanX ecosystem as well. So just a reminder for everybody to, you know, be vigilant. And in the entire crypto space, it's still the wild, wild west out here. We're still super early. So just be vigilant.
100%. And I can imagine being in your shoes, hearing from the community. I'm sure you're getting a lot of DMs. People are excited. There's this feeling amongst the FOMO, and you see everything around you going up. You know, 100x is here, 1000x is on this chain, and you want to participate that. And so there's a feeling to get it out now, and especially when the price is low. Of course, there's a lot of feeling, I guess, maybe from the community that like, oh, we gotta have something. We have to have something to fix it today. It doesn't have to happen that fast. So it's awesome that you recognize that, and I appreciate you sharing that, dude. And the biggest challenge we're all going to have, every single one of us in the bull market, is managing our emotions. And if you're feeling FOMO, it's probably a good idea to walk away and just put the computer down, go touch grass. That's going to be one of the biggest things. But hey, Mike, first of all, I want to give you credit for all you're doing, Mike Dean, and thank you for Plan A for hosting these. Fantastic what you guys are doing for the community, and y'all are amazing. So thank you to you all.
Thank you, Crypto Kindness, man. I heard some people saying we need you to go on a holiday again because then the price pumps. So, what do you say about that?
Well, if the price pumps enough, I'll be on permanent holidays. So I'm okay with that.
Sounds awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Penny, you can go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, guys? First and foremost, I just want to say thanks for Plan A and Mike Dean for hosting these weekly spaces. It's incredibly valuable. It's important for our community. And I know it takes effort, dedication, and commitment to maintain your leadership. So I just want to say thank you. I also want to give a shout out to all of the content creators in the ecosystem. What you guys do is insanely valuable. Me personally, I intake at least 2 to 3 hours a day of just streams and different ways to just intake all this information and to learn and just to remain a student. And that wouldn't be available if it wasn't for you guys. So just thank you for all the content creators that set aside time and put in effort to continue to allow or give a platform for these builders, so all of us within the community can continue to learn and be students. So it's awesome. But I just wanted to kind of tap in on just like the bigger picture of what all this is, because I know that it's really easy to get engulfed in the emotions of the small term and a smaller time frame when we're just knee deep in these protocols, in these communities. The reality is like where we're at on the time frame of the cycle is we're February 2020, of the last cycle, and of course every cycle is potentially different, but just based on the global liquidity cycles and the elections and all that type of stuff we're most likely going to see a similar pattern just on how all this plays out time frame. And so just to put it into perspective, man, we still have a long way to go. And that's a great thing for a project like TitanX and this whole ecosystem. Like we shouldn't expect this thing to just pop and blow up in the next couple months. Like the way that the mechanics are built within TitanX and the whole ecosystem is time is on our side. And I think that's really important to always keep in a perspective. Like, if we reference Hex, right? I mean, there's a lot of people from the Hex community that are involved in TitanX. Hex didn't peak out until September 2021. And so to put that into perspective, that's about 18 months from now. And so we have time for all of this to evolve. We have time for the tokenomics to play out, for the math to play out of what TitanX, for builders to continue to build. So, I think it's just important for all of us to just be patient and to remain diligent and to have a plan, and to make sure that we stick to that plan within our own personal situations. And don't fudge yourself out of your bags, man. I mean, TitanX could be incredibly valuable in the next year to year and a half. And so, I just kind of want to just present just a bigger picture, a bigger perspective of all this. And I'm incredibly excited to be a part of this community. The upside is tremendous. And there's thousands of projects in crypto, obviously, and every single community thinks that they have the best project that the space can offer. But not all of them, or most of them, aren't fair launched. Most of them don't have public founders, and most of them don't have the type of just intelligence baked into their community. So just understand that we're all probably part of something very special. Of course, there's going to be incredible volatility. There's going to be black swan events that are going to happen in the next 12 months. I mean, the markets are going to be crazy. But just understand what you own and understand what you're a part of. Remain a student. I think that's what I've really learned in the last couple of years. Just being in the Zen community and that whole situation is just remain a student, remain learning, remain diligent, remain patient, and obviously stick to first principles of what crypto is, and make sure that us as a community, we demand those standards from any other projects that come into our space, and not to waver from that, because we obviously see what can happen. You know, I wasn't a part of the rugs that have happened, but that shit happens, you know. And so another shout out to the community leaders and Mike Dean for just withholding a standard for projects that want to come into this community, that they have to abide by that standard, which is amazing. So that's all I got. You guys have a blessed day. Appreciate everybody.
Thanks, Penny. Thanks. So well said. And the point that you mentioned in terms of 12 to 18 months, we just take a look at the mechanics of this system. You take a look at the early adoption amplifier, so you take a look at early adoption amplifier, the increase in difficulty with respect to the emission that of TitanX. I think it points to, in one direction, that the deflation will occur on all fronts of TitanX. And all we need to do is to understand the protocol. It is an experiment, quite all right. But understand the protocol and, keep our eyes wide open and let this play out. Let it play out. It's really playing out the way it's meant to play out, exactly where we are and where we should be at this point in terms of inflation. I think as we go down the line by end of this year into next year, we will definitely see the deflation will kick in. We have a very aggressive halvening period. So in terms of emission rate of TitanX, there's no doubt about that. It's the progressive decline in terms of volume of TitanX emitted into the system would definitely drop significantly after first year and so on. So anyway, I'm not going to harp upon it. I just wanted to say we understand the system. We can look forward and see what's to come, and of course, make it an informed decision. Adam, I think you're next. After you, then of course, is it Cheeks 28, and then Pacman. Ziba, James, I would want you to speak, but let's get these. Let's get Adam and Cheeks 28 and Pacman to share their ideas or thoughts with us first. Great.
Hey y'all, I just want to say thanks a lot for hosting this space like you guys always do. Mike and Plan A, you guys are top notch and you're very persistent in everything you do. To all the builders out there and all the community members, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for sticking around through the thin, through the thick, through the thin, through the good, through the bad. I just want to say, when I came into TitanX day one, and I had a really good user experience from the website, everything. It was easy to click buttons. It was very easy to make my miners to see. I was attracted to TitanX, just knowing a lot about Hex, and the simple white paper really resonated with me. It was easy to understand for me. I've been a miner since 2019 in the Hex community, so I love that aspect about it. I overlooked one thing in the Titan community. I did not foresee the amount of people that were planning on building these crazy projects that are coming out, or having these great ideas of all of these protocols and everything that was going to be coming on top of it. I overlooked that very, very fast. But it came to me when I saw, and I can see 17 plus protocols launching in the near future, that this is like something very special in my eyes. And I'm definitely here for the entire ride. But on day one, it was very easy for me to click buttons and understand the UI. That was great. I'm here to reiterate what Kindness is saying. Launch dates to me aren't very important. It's the first initial experience upon your protocol and ease of use. So DragonX came out and launched. They gave a vague date of between January 15th and January 18th. And they picked their date, they stuck to it. I was able to click the buttons the first day on them too, because they showed me why I would want to part with my TitanX tokens there. If you have a protocol launching and you come up with a clever way to part me with my TitanX, the more power to you. If I think that it's a way to make money, I'm obviously going to participate. And first and foremost, it's just user experience is first in my books at all times. Launch dates don't matter. I'm just here to have a good experience, and I wonder what you would say to part me with my precious TitanX tokens that I've been mining since day one. And that's all I got to say about that.
Great, Adam. Thank you. Great comments there. I think yes. Well, okay. Let's move Pacman.
Hey guys, I think TitanX is it's doing a great job, but I would like to see nicer website from looking from outside, and also maybe are they going to do any kind of burning coins, anything like that? That would be real beneficial for the team, I guess. I don't know, but overall, I think I wish everybody good luck. But my concern is really looking from outside is the website. It should be, I think, change up a little bit, make them nicer.
Thanks, Pacman. Any comments, feedback is really highly appreciated. And of course, this is a work in progress. I think for the start, I think the website, of course, we could see as a version 1, but I think as we really move into our next phases and accommodate the growth that we are expecting, I think definitely sort of feedback that you provided will be really helpful. So whether it's additional information that could be placed on the website that gives some information to a first-time visitor. If something like that definitely could help, and any other ideas would definitely be welcome. So we would definitely feed that back up to Jake. I'll be making a couple of comments on marketing, and this is completely a community effort. But I think for virality, we would definitely need to start, agreeing on a strategy to move forward. And the way that I think I've discussed this with Mike, it's a case of engaging professionals within this space who I have already been speaking to. And I think we mentioned this last call that we had, that we would dedicate next month to sort of marketing TitanX. And so what we would do is invite, we're looking at about three of the top 10 crypto marketing and PR firms to come and speak to us and explain how they could help partner with us to kind of, take TitanX to the next, that next phase. And I'll be honest with you, they have also mentioned the website and that a bit more in terms of information. It looks good. It looks as in for what it's meant to do for those who are members of the TitanX community and know what this is about, or know what this ecosystem is about. But TitanX is growing in leaps and bounds that I think we could give a bird's eye view of what TitanX and the TitanX ecosystem is, and make that available on the website. And so Good. So I'll just say watch this space. Next month, as mentioned to you, we'll be having we'll be inviting you know, sort of as mentioned, 3. So now we've got a short list of, we're looking at 3 marketing firms that will come and speak to us. Of course, there is there'll be a budgetary sort of implication here. But let's put that aside for a minute. Just what we just need for now is to get these ideas here and then kick it off properly, as in get a strategy in place. And these firms are looking at doing that for us. Okay, so on that note, I think we need to move on to the next speaker. Now, I think that was from Pacman. Good idea, Pacman. Thanks again for sharing. Now, Chicks28 was actually going to speak, but I think had to hop off and back on. I think you're back on. Please. Yeah, feel free.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks so much, Plan A and Mike D, for hosting this. It's always good to be here. Helios, I just want to give you some props. Just for consistent communication and really thoughtful, and just from my perspective as a, I would say crypto OG, right? Like this idea, totally, the FOMO thing made sense. I saw when you guys were racing to get it out, I was like, right on. And then when TitanX Market was racing to get it out, I was like, right on. And I support any founder and team that says, no, we're not ready to launch. And so, yes, you're setting expectations, but as long as we consistently communicate with our community, then we're doing the best we can, you know. And so I think you, and just from my personal perspective, you know, I like this idea of going slow to go fast, right? The next year is a big year for the TitanX ecosystem. The next 18 months is an important period of time, and then beyond there, even to wherever it goes after that. So right now, at least for me, as a as a day one person who's been following Jake for years, you know, every bull run that I've been in, I choose like one horse that I ride. You know, I've got a diversified portfolio. Some of it is on the Pulse chain, and some of it is on Ethereum, and some is on, you know, on Cosmos chains. But I always choose one, and it served me well. You know, the first one that I got, I chose ETH. I was like, all right, I feel like, you know, the number 2 is gonna be a long runner. I chose ETH, and I didn't do so as well as I could have because I was inexperienced. But I'm good at choosing winners. And then, even though Luna suffered, I chose Luna, got a lot of like value out of Luna and put it back into Ethereum and Pulse chain. And when I'm looking at like, where do I deploy my capital, whatever I have, you know, how, you know, I chose first Jake's project just because I've been following him for a long time and dialogue with him. And I trust him as a builder, you know, and I'm not even talking about the person, but as a builder. And so when we're, you know, and so when the builders are starting to put out decentralized contracts, right? I mean, putting these decentralized contracts out, yes, with keys, because we're all learning that we need them for certain things, right? In certain times and places, especially in the contemporary world, right? And so the more complex these, you know, protocols become, the more difficult it is for founders and teams to really put out killer products that really deliver on the promise. So I'll just speak for myself. I'm glad that TitanX Market slowed this down. I've been following them too. I've been educating myself. I see the opportunity there. Helios, your protocol really surprised me. I'm like, right on, you know, and my question was, what's the significant difference between Helios and Hyper, for example? I don't know, because I don't know what Hyper is, but so I'm just saying the more we slow down, and so Helios, I'm more likely to go in, as an early adopter of the Helios protocol and to really, accept this idea that, I have what you guys have to do it now that I don't have to rush, that I don't have to make a decision. And that's why, for example, in following Titan Blaze, I like what they're doing, because they basically I just read, and not that I'm holding them to it, because they just put it out there, hey, our launch is going to be around the halvening. I'm like, right on. I'm not holding it to it, but I see where if I'm interested in that protocol, I can plan for it. And so now I'd like to plan for Helios. So I'd like some time, just like I'd like to plan for TitanX, just like I'd like to plan for baby DragonX. I mean, that protocol, I like it. Why? Because I really like DragonX. I love what they've done, and I see the potential in that little mini ecosystem built on top of TitanX. So anyway, I believe this is a killer ecosystem, and for me personally, I'm just willing to go slower than to go fast, and to see that, pardon the language, a lot of shit's going to go down in the next 12 to 18 months. It's going to be very volatile. Most people will get shaken out, just by fear and greed. And so, yeah, I just want to give props to all the builders, really, the builders and the conveners, who I think are doing a really good job at building expeditiously, smartly, safely. And Jake has set the prototype, and I think that the builders in the community are doing pretty well. So, yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Those comments are certainly, supported. Thanks to all the builders, and of course that goes up to our YouTube, supporters as well, who have actually spent the time dissecting out this protocol, and as in TitanX and other protocols, and educated us all. So, yeah, let me just second what Chips 28 has said. Now, we'll just move on now to River Revival Christian, and then High Card. Then we can go to James Ziba, and I would like to know what James, the status of his protocol, where it is. Just could let us know. Due to launch end of this month, from what and I may be wrong on that. Leave it to Ziva to explain, but I'd love us to get to that as well. Great. Yeah, River Revival. Over to you.
Hi, can you hear me? That's good. Good day, everybody. Thanks for the opportunity. I've been with TitanX since it started. I've made some money from it, and I'm thankful for Jake and his smart contract and his plan. It's caused me to promote it a lot, and I've brought some people on board from all over who've invested into TitanX. The only concern I have is that the hype that was caused with all the protocols made everybody excited, and we all basically bought a lot of TitanX. We bought DragonX. We've bought the NFTs. We've been part of everything that's been going on. But what I'm going to speak today is about the community and peace of mind, because I know the builders have been building, and some of them, unfortunately, we don't know what their motives are, but 8% is quite a lot for them. And they're getting it, once they launch, that money goes straight to them. So some of them. But the community basically needs to have peace of mind that our investments are protected. The TitanX we have in our wallet is not just going to lie there for 3 weeks at a time, 4 weeks, and then it becomes affected by someone dumping the price. And suddenly we are held hostage with this price movement that goes up and down, and our money is just, we just see figures, we see numbers going up and down every day. I feel that we need to generate and put something together that protects us as investors when it comes to protocols being launched. if we know there are going to be 10 or 20 protocols in the future that are going to be launched, we need to have something that protects our money while we're waiting to invest. So, and I don't see it yet with us, but we need to maybe look at having a vault where we can place our TitanX into that gives us a daily yield of 0.2% or 0.4% while we're waiting. Similar to a stable type of coin, like a pair that is linked to a stable coin or something that makes money for us while we're waiting, so that we're not held in limbo. And then suddenly when there's a launch date announced, we're excited to invest because we know our money is going to work for us. Because it's the whole purpose of investing. You want your money to work for you. And then when we see our funds is lying there and then this chart going up and down and someone just dumping on it, it really throws a spanner in the works, you know. So unfortunately, we're going to go for the developers and the builders for promising us those dates. But I feel that if we can look at something that gives us a stability on our TitanX, that as we're waiting for things to launch, we can place it into some form of a vault that's generating passive yield for us as well while we're waiting, I think we wouldn't be so upset, you know? And that's all I have to say. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay. Thank you, River Revival. I think if I may ask, you sort of alluded to an idea of placing the TitanX in a vault, or?
Yeah, I'm saying the investors, like, there's all this liquidity, there's 38%, I think, I don't know, that's liquid at the moment, people holding it in their wallets. And you know what happens just before an announcement gets made, we're all buying up TitanX, and then there's a delay, and then suddenly the price goes up, and then someone sells off, and it drops down to 6 zeros again. And then all that money that we've seen is in our wallet, like one day I saw there was over $5,000-6,000 in my account on my wallet, and then suddenly the next day I came back, it was like down to 3. And so what I'm saying is that we don't have to be held hostage by those movements, price movements. If something was developed by the developers, say, listen, all these protocols are going to come up. You guys are never going to know when you're really ready, because you're going to find faults with your. We're going to have to be someone triple audit, someone 2 audit, someone 1 audit, and they don't feel ready to launch. But because they made the announcement, we are all held hostage by that announcement, you know? And so we shouldn't be held hostage by their fears, or if they're not ready or they're not prepared. That's what they're getting. They're getting 8% back. This is business at the end of the day. So we should be able to put our TitanX that we're holding back to support them with their protocols into something that gives us a yield while we're waiting, because we cannot have TitanX lying around. Otherwise, I'll just support Hyper, because I feel safe with TitanX at the moment. I thank God for the long-term miner. I thank God for the long-term stakes, because those things I know is going to give me a yield in the long run. So at the moment, I don't have anything else I can hold on to, you know, besides that. So I'm saying that all of us with that liquid we have, we should be able to put it somewhere that's giving us 0.1 or 0.2% per day on that money growing, and acts as an antidote towards the chart, because the chart itself, it's like so volatile, you know, and it affects all of us.
Yes. Well, River, I think definitely good point. I will say, and this is just my view, I think, and I would hope that that's the case going forward, that we have, I see Helios would also want to add to that. It would be good to see a builder's view. But I think the point I'd like to make is, we say TitanX, for instance, this was built fully, pretty much in launch. And so the 8% going to TitanX, you know, the Genesis wallet, is pretty much, if you like, a fee to, you know, the TitanX builder, founder, and that's understandable. Now,
and we support that. We do support that. We're not questioning that.
Correct. So I think the projects that you're talking about would be projects that haven't yet fully developed or fully launched, but at least we're pretty much, we already started. We start putting in TitanX towards that project.
Well, we can look at there's a vulnerability at the moment where people are making dates and it's not happening. So that's going to happen. Let's look at percentages. Let's say 20 protocols tell us they're going to launch, and 5 or 6 of them give us dates, and they don't fulfill the dates. It affects our plans financially. So we need something in place as well as a community. Seeing that can happen. We're not saying it's going to happen with everyone, but we're saying it can happen, and it is happening already, and it's happening 2 or 3 times. So you don't want to have a situation where you lose investors' confidence, because without our investors in the community, those protocols are nothing.
I hear you. I hear you. I think I would like to hear other sort of comments. Helios, I think it's a good point that River has raised here. I don't have the answers. Here, but if anybody has any contribution, please do. Kind of make your comments here. It could be that the builders will be listening to this and probably build a solution that can sort of make this sort of take care of this issue. But yeah, Helios, dude, you want to say something?
Yeah, I like the idea, but the issue with it is this is another smart contract that needs designed and audited and released, and that doesn't really fix the here and the now. So really, like the TitanX mechanics are, for these layer 2 protocols to launch and burn TitanX. That's what we're all here for, and that's what's going to help with the circulating supply of TitanX. What you're discussing is really just a band-aid to help the here and the now, which really, like, in my opinion, it can't be designed that fast and put out there. And by the time it is designed and created and put out there as an option, presumably we've already got several other projects that have launched, and they are in turn doing what you're hoping to do, which is fix the Titan supply and help with the price. Also, I wanted to mention that as far as any TitanX that gets burned on Helios's platform, we take 8% and we split that with the user. So 4% is going to the user and 4% is going to the Genesis. So we do take that, but we value the users in the end, and that's what really drives the ecosystem, and we see that value. I think somebody else said, Adam, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on River's thoughts there. I think you need to remember right now that you are in a highly volatile, hyperinflationary crypto. So that turns into hyper deflation. It's going to be an emotional, bumpy ride for the next foreseeable future. There's no way about that. If you're holding liquid TitanX, the price will fluctuate harder than you can imagine to the upside, harder than you can imagine to the downside. And you have to have a plan coming in and be happy when you want to execute and take your money of your investment and just go on with it. I think what you're describing as the fail-safe, I want to feel safe with my money. Well, if I wanted to feel safe with my TitanX right now, I would lock it up in a 280-day miner and not have to worry about it for 280 days. If you believe in this project long-term, I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with the long-term horizon and point of view. When you're holding a liquid bag of Titan, it is a wildly volatile thing. So there's nothing we can do to put off people that are putting out launch dates and postponing launch dates, and it obviously is going to react emotionally on the market at each and every time, no matter what crypto you're in. If you have a terrible announcement on the horizon, you best believe that crypto is going to go down.
Yes, I agree.
If I could.
Thanks, Adam, for that. Yeah, that guy, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to speak on the guy who was just speaking and say that when it comes to this project, specifically TitanX, I know a lot of people, and the guy talking about a vault or something. And to back up what the other guy was saying when it comes to just like mining, your best option, and even what I've done when I first started getting into this project, I mined about $2,000 worth of TitanX and just didn't look at it. And and that's kind of when I first started, I was doing 30-day, 40-day, maybe not that much. And, obviously you don't get the full benefit of doing the full length, but I can tell you just for the time being now, from the time I've gotten to the project from the started and just been learning and going through it, like you said, your best option would be either to be, mining it or, staking it, preferably. I stake every time my miners are done. I take them and stake them. And then also, you get your payouts and stuff of that nature. So if you just go through all the mechanics with this particular project, I think there's no worries at the end of the day. And just like he said, when it comes to anything long-term, there's going to be a process. There's going to be some bumps in the road, but it's all part of the process. And it's all for the greater good when it comes to legitimacy in a project. And, most projects, if there's not a problem that needs to be fixed or something that needs to be looked upon, I don't think I would say it's normal, because there's nothing perfect. So that's just my point on that.
Thank you so much. I won't be long. I just want to say that I have been with crypto from 2017, and I've invested with Time Wonderland, and I belong to the Volta Club, which got a treasury of $130 million. And also what happened with TitanX when it happened this day with KingX. I also have a stable swap investment that runs daily, that pays me at 0.46% every day, 0.35% every day. So what I did was I just sold off my DragonX, sold off my TitanX when they dumped the price. I put it back into my stable swap coins and taking back my 0.35 until KingX is ready, or whichever other protocol is ready. But in the meantime, my money is working for me. And that's all I wanted to make a statement. And it's not about volatility, it's about common sense, because at the end of the day, we all know it's volatile, but you have high risk, you have medium risk, and you have low risk. So it's at the same time, while the same money is working for you, you don't want to have to add more money to your bag so you can jump in to the protocol because the price went down. Your money is still growing while you're waiting. And that's what I'm saying. If we can create something that even though we're waiting for these protocols to launch, our money is working for us and it's still growing. Even if it's 0.1% every day, we all know money is working for us. Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks everyone for your invaluable contributions. I think this has been a really good debate. So thank you. I don't think River. I think some ideas have been suggested. I would also, say maybe if a builder considers this idea worthwhile and has the kind of inspiration to build something to take care of this, then fine. But in any case, I think the point that that guy made, and I think and Adam of course made, absolutely very early stages. I know TitanX has been hugely successful, and I think sometimes we lose sight of that. This is a high volatility period of TitanX. It's a high inflationary period. Things will settle. And so in the meantime, yes, the volatility may be such that, it will concern us. But I think once we remind ourselves that we're talking about a super young project here, and it's really going through its growth phase, and so let's continue to watch and see how things progress. But I think we're really on the right path. Yeah, Adam.
Yeah, one more thing to add to River's comment. I think look at your portfolio, or anybody for that matter, and in a high volatile, high risk new project, like TitanX, there's 13,000-ish unique addresses here. You got to look at your portfolio and say, what can I go to sleep at night feeling good about and not care about the violent swings if you are holding liquid TitanX? Is 5% a good number to you? That will put your mind at ease and you won't have to worry. I understand that there's $130 million vaults out there on different protocols that do pay you passive yield. Sure, you can get it to those. That's just not what this current protocol was designed. Could somebody come out in the future and offer a little bit of stability, a future builder? Yeah, for sure they could, but we'll have to wait and see. We know what we're into by reading the white paper. We know what we're going to be getting into by seeing all these upcoming projects launching. And you can choose to diversify your TitanX portfolio into what other protocols currently are getting ready to build for you. Just don't invest emotionally on anything in crypto. Take the emotion out of it by allocating your certain amount of risk.
Great. Thanks, Adam. TitanX, over to you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm among some greats here, and I really appreciate everything that TitanX does. Jake and Mike, you're the man. Adam and River, I really support what you're saying, and ultimately it's the core with all the protocols that are coming out. You know, it is overwhelming, but you know, the core fundamental to this whole project, in my opinion, is ultimately the foundation, which is TitanX. I don't have the liquidity to chase a lot of these protocols, but that's not my objective. My objective is what built the protocols that everybody is building, which are incredible. But at the same time, I'm really kind of like a foundationally type built strategy in my book. That's what I'm doing. It's Titan. I got my NFTs. I like them. They're fun. I'm really interested in DragonX. I have quite a bit of that. But as far as getting into the KingX and Helios, I'll probably look at it a little bit, but I'm going to stick to my core, and that's just TitanX itself, because I have faith in it, and it's built wonderful things, so it really shows a positive future. So I'm in for the long haul, and TitanX is going to be the core of my pursuit from this point forward. Thank you.
Thanks, TitanX. Great comments there. I must say apologies to anyone who felt that they had to hold on for much longer than, you know, they were prepared to. But, you know, it's always good to give every speaker the chance to really exhaust their comments, concerns, and if we needed to debate those comments, then yeah, I think that's you know, that's good. So that's good. So I think on that note, I still will ask if anybody has any comments, any additional comments to raise, to add, please feel free. I think the floor is open. And I think a lot has been said over the last week. We're expecting, of course, the launch of two major projects, and there were the launch date of both projects were postponed. A lot of comments were aired and discussed in the various TitanX related you know, communities and or Telegram groups. So I think it's always good to have a forum where we can just interact and clear the air, get back on the same page, even if we don't completely agree, but at least there's something to be said for sort of exchanging ideas and gaining other perspectives on issues. And that's what this opportunity affords us as we look forward. Again, as mentioned, next month, we will have, I mean, last month, this month, we're our Build on TitanX. That was the theme for last month, January and February. the driving theme. Now, we're not going to relegate this theme because it pretty much is at the core of TitanX. What we're going to do is add on another theme, which is marketing TitanX, as mentioned. And I've been having discussions with marketing firms who we will engage and who are prepared to speak to the community. And I think we're not going to be disappointed. There are definitely different moving parts. And very early stages, as we understand, with TitanX, very early stages, but still a lot has happened within the last, 4 months. A lot has happened. And so let us, when we look at these teething problems, and that's all they are, really, these so-called, well, not so-called, but these delays, it's really not something that we should be overly worried about. I honestly, I love the fact that Helios, that's a dude, just honestly not invited, didn't ask the dude to come and explain himself at all. He took it upon himself to come in here. He requested to come up, and he just explained himself on this, communicated clearly, exactly as he did when the postponement occurred, which is, listen, guys, we need to get this, that the audit would need to be released, not released yet. It may not be a major issue, but I don't want to launch without getting this correct. And of course, the front end delays were at the, I believe, point that Helios mentioned, but these things needed to be ironed out. And I was really grateful that we put the community first. We don't want a situation where the community is put at risk. And for me, that was a good example to set. So, great. Warrior, over to you.
Hey guys, can you guys hear me okay? I'm driving right now, so.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, great. Thanks for letting me speak. Excited to see what Helios has coming up.
Warrior, sorry. Maybe Warrior, I don't know if you can hear me. I spoke too soon. It is with great difficulty that we can. I mean, it is really difficult to hear you now. So,
oh man, what about now?
Okay, now it's yes. Now it's
Okay, sorry. I think my signal's going in and out. I'll try to make it quick. I'm excited about the projects coming up. Excited to see when they're actually released. I think River made a great point, and the fact is, when it comes to crypto and these cycles, is we're like in the beginning of the bull market, right? And we're going to see the top, and eventually it'll go down. And that's just everything across the board. I think that solution that you have might be. I think everyone's focusing on just building on TitanX right now, just so essentially to get that burn going. But I think that would be a great opportunity for right before the bear market. So that way it kind of keeps the folks who are still in the TitanX and the ecosystem to kind of keep our bags afloat in a way. I'm sorry, I just wanted to say that I'm making a lot of turns right now. I probably shouldn't even be on the phone. Thanks for letting me talk.
Thanks, Warrior. Thanks for your contribution. I think definitely that's well noted. And as we know, these spaces get replayed by a lot of people who sort of were not able to join, and I'm sure this conversation will continue. So good. Yes, Helios.
Yeah, I think all this recent discussion we're having is really short term, and I'm just thinking like 2 or 3 Plan A spaces down the road, the conversation is going to be completely different. And like the marketing side of things, I don't feel like TitanX is really ready to market to the masses until we have multiple protocols running on top of it, because that's kind of really the whole mechanic is these layer 2 protocols that are there to support TitanX by eliminating the supply. So until then, we're kind of stuck in this holding pattern. But I think very soon the tone's going to change. So we'll have diamond hands and we have paper hands. Which one are you?
Great. Well, Helios, I think the marketing bit and the marketing partner that we sort of discussed earlier would not really be kicking in until, say, April, May. But to build up to that, what I foresee is that we will have these discussions and interviews with these marketing partners. I think for now, what I'd like to do is kind of engage the community to select which of the 3 we should use as our primary partner. And we may be able to use each of them for different things. There's one in particular that has a subscription model that we can actually use. But I don't think there's any doubt that these PR and marketing firms can really get our name, the name TitanX out there and engage with the wider community. We definitely have done a lot within the community to lay the foundation. But I think preparing for growth has to be the next phase. Otherwise, we stagnate. And we can see that with a lot of other communities who that simply, for whatever reason, haven't managed to manage sort of success, or at least going to the next phase properly. I think engaging these professional marketing PR firms would be worth it. And so I'll say we keep an open mind and let us get them. Let's get the discussion going. To answer your question, TitanX, of course, is a work in progress, but I don't think that there's any harm in going out there and engaging the wider crypto community and beyond. And so, in that regard, I think definitely we would have to commence that conversation. And yeah, April, May would be sort of the time when we would want to be seeing our names on. I want to see the name of TitanX on CoinMarketCap and other media, and the articles that need to be that will need to be written, would need to be reviewed and prepared. We need to get the message ready, and a lot of that wouldn't happen in one day. So yeah, let's kick it off next month. Let's get these articles ready. Now, some of these articles will be written by these PR firms. We will be able to review these articles, add to them. There's also a Binance stream that has been mentioned where you've got over 100,000 people that apparently listen to this Binance stream, and we can get ourselves positioned to appear on that stream and just start getting that message out of fair crypto. Because if all that we do is just tell ourselves this story, this narrative of fair crypto, it's not serving the community. I think Mike just read out early, just starting at the start, something from Jake. The idea here is just, it's beyond us making money, or it's beyond, just coming in and growing our bags. The bigger vision here is that really all DeFi should be, should go down this path of fair crypto. And again, Mike and I were talking about this the other day. As we prepare for the bull run, you got a lot of scammers are preparing for the bull run too. It's almost as if they get activated when the bull run, starts. And so I think we need to get our message out there that those who are interested in DeFi or exploring this space, that they know that there's a safe place they can come into and participate and grow their knowledge and invest in, should they choose to. And I think that really is where we're headed. And even as it stands today, there are avenues within the TitanX ecosystem where you can actually do that. And of course, no doubt, we're going to get more and more protocols built in time. So I think the intention wasn't really to delve into this in any great detail, but I think it was necessary to do that. Well, any other comments, inputs, or concerns? Please feel free. Adam, yes.
I'm going to be a contrarian as to what Helios just said. As an investor, I love buying blood in the streets, and I've seen many red candles in the TitanX market for the past little while. I welcome my friends and family at these levels rather than the euphoric levels that we had 4 weeks ago. I say, hey, you're able to buy a 115-day miner right now off the market. And guess what? There's a chance that in the short term, something for the positive could happen. I would get you Liquid Titan right now for the upcoming protocols such as Helios, TitanX Market, KingX, all of these things launching in the short future. I love the thought of buying blood and buying time.
Well,
yeah, I agree with you. I'm just talking to the people that are already holders and they're upset at the red candles. And that's where I'm kind of trying to just reassure people that, as we've said several times, we're in that hyperinflationary stage. But for sure, if you're waiting on the sidelines, then yeah, it's every day it drops is a little bit more of an incentive to get in. And I'm not a trader, and that's where it gets tough for me, because obviously if you know where the bottom is, then you wait until then. But generally speaking, you don't know what the bottom is until we've already seen it and we're into the future. So to me, it's, I'm already in TitanX, so I'm not worried about trying to catch dips. To me, it's just continuing to build and reassure myself and the community that this is all going to reverse soon enough once the plan, once everything goes as planned, which is these layer 2s launching.
Completely agree with what you said, man. I get it. Yeah, absolutely. And never invest with emotions, anybody. This is never financial advice from me. This is just my personal experience as to what I do.
Great. Mike, do you have anything to add?
I think we are, around the 1.5 hour mark already. So I think we can start slowly, probably closing it off. I could, say some few words, or like you still want to continue?
No, yeah, we can continue to. We can start wrapping up. I think if there are any other comments, yes, of course, we can definitely take them and discuss. But yes, let's aim to start to wrap up within 10 minutes. I think probably that will be good. So we sort of wrap up on the hour. So that will be kind of 2 hours in. Good. Do you have any additional comments to add to what's been discussed today?
Just probably some few words regarding buying blood. Obviously, that's also something which I like to do. And I was actually watching how DragonX was getting sold off. So when I saw it was going under the 1-to-1 ratio, basically. Well, obviously, I was compelled now, because if you are buying blood, well, it's just too good to be true when it was going underneath that. So I got some. I placed even more deeper because I was actually thinking, well, maybe you will even go even deeper than that. So I actually placed it some more. I wanted to buy even more, but on the lower scale. But then I saw the news came out that there was a delay, and then the price ran away from me. So I was sad that I didn't get my bottom one. But well, it is what it is, right? I mean, you get some a little bit, but the deeper we go down, the more I was looking to buy. But yeah, I only got just a little bit. So yeah, we shall see how that works out next time.
Correct. It was really, I say, really an interesting kind of turn of events, and it was really interesting to see how the community behaved and how the protocol behaved as well. So that's true. So good. I think we can continue to look forward to great things ahead. I think on that note, we'll now sort of wind down. Elias, I would like to give, please, these will be closing remarks. Now, I think, as a builder and as a highly anticipated protocol, would like to hear your closing remarks.
Yeah, just real quick. Thanks again for having me, and I'll definitely be joining next week. Enjoy these conversations and kind of seeing where the community's at. As far as Helios goes, quick shill, please, check out our white paper, understand what we're here to do and how we're going to help the TitanX ecosystem. Please give us a follow on Twitter or join our Telegram. We've got several DAO formation questions going on and how to make this as decentralized as possible. So, if you want to participate, we're already getting started on that. But yeah, again, thanks for everything. And a new launch date when we are 100% ready is coming soon. So look out for that.
Great. Thanks, dude. That's we're definitely looking forward to it. Adam at TitanX and River, do you have anything to any sort of closing remarks? Given we've had some good discussions here.
I got nothing here, only to say once again, thank you guys for everything that you do, all the builders, all the community members, all the people that host the streams, all the people that participate, all the people that watch. And yeah, good times ahead. Can't wait for all of the upcoming stuff, and future is always looking bright in my eyes. Thank you guys once again. Have a great day.
Thank you. TitanX, do you have anything? Closing remark? If not, it's okay as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So
otherwise, I can take over.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I think River is there back. So River, go ahead and I'll take it next.
Well, thank you. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
We can hear.
Seems like I'm muted. Oh,
no,
okay.
Yes.
Okay, all I want to say is this is a very exciting journey, and I've got a couple of guys. As you know, I'm a pastor, so I've got a couple of pastors involved in TitanX, and I'm educating them on TitanX every day. So I have to read every white paper of every protocol, explain everything from ground level to them, and teach them about the inflationary and the buy and burn and everything. So I'm totally committed to TitanX 100%. I've got miners, I've got stakes, I've got their miners and stakes running. And I support Helios. I was excited about your protocol because I know you were supposed to launch before KingX. And then I got excited about KingX with his crown on your show, Mike. And then I was getting the guys all ready. I thought it was going to be a big day because KingX was saying it's going to be a 17x in 17 days. And so thanks, guys, for the opportunity. I'm in it to win it. Okay, have a good one.
Thank you. Mike?
Yeah. So thank you very much for all guys listening in. I see some guys on YouTube and also people here on Twitter. So thank you very much. Shout out to Crypto Kindness for joining us today. So that was definitely something. I think he had listened a couple of times, but he never joined. So yeah, pretty awesome that he joined today. Shout out to you, Crypto Kindness. And yeah, shout out to the dude from Helios. I'm gonna give you the fault that I have less vitamin D, as you said yourself. Helios did not launch. The sun did not launch, so it's your fault. Anyway, that's what's up. Helios, shout out to you. I mean, as always, red candles, green candles. We out here on Sunday. Me and Plan A here doing these streams or these Twitter Spaces. So yeah, that's that. And yeah, upcoming week I'm gonna have most likely James from the project Baby DragonX. So I'm gonna have an interview with him. Exactly when I'm gonna, well, I think tomorrow or something, I'm gonna tweet something out. So nevertheless, thank you very much. Enjoy your Sunday and talk to you soon.
Yes, thanks, Mike. And thanks everyone for participating and for attending. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to a great week ahead. Wishing everyone a great week ahead as well. And thank you. Take care, everyone. Thank you.
All right, guys, I'm gonna stop the stream. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you enjoy your Sunday and see you next time. I think on Tuesday or Wednesday we're gonna have an interview with James from Baby DragonX. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.